corporate recruiter here to review your resumes. The resume we have up first, a data engineer. The qualifications for a data engineer are Python, ETL, ELT, Scala, data, algorithm, SQL, data, big data, Kafka, Spark, Hadoop, cloud, data X. And what I mean by data X is literally anything, just data models, data lakes. You got to have the word data in front of it. Snow, any of those is fine. Ability to manage and communicate data plans to non-technical people. Every single person misses that. And man, even if you're not in tech, if your job is to explain complex stuff to non-technical people, you probably should put in your resume. That's a pretty common qualification for a lot of things, is that you need to be able to describe to somebody that does not know how to turn on their monitor what a data model is. Not even how you got it, just what it is. And then the industry, which is going to depend on a bunch of factors that I can't find. So some of them may be SDLC, maybe healthcare, finance, and a bonus for DevOps, Jira, Confluence, and MS Office. So is this a good resume? No, it's bad. I know that because they told me their ratio. The ratio is 150 plus to 1, which means it takes them over 150 applications to get an interview, which means it's a bad resume. Your goal should be under 1 in 50. That is the goal. It should be under 1 to 50. So it should be 50 applications at a bare minimum to get a single interview. So let's see if I can find what I need. And we only have 20 seconds to find it. That's the only amount of time recruiters have. So begin. All right. Frameworks, data pipelines, okay. Cross-functional, cloud, batch workflows, airflows, functional health code, data, faster, Python, SQL, built machine learning pipelines, and LangChain. I don't need that necessarily. Data testing, established validation processes, and that's time. That actually had some of the things I need, but not all of it. I'm actually kind of shocked that's a 1 in 50. And reading this, they left me a note here, was 200 plus applications to 2 to 3 screenings. Okay, that's actually not 1 in 50. That's probably closer to 1 in 75 to 1 in 100, depending on how many pluses you had after 200, which isn't good, but it's not a complete garbage, delete this resume. So let's see, I am an experienced data engineer looking for full-time roles as a data engineer, AI pipelines as well. Right now I'm on your streaming. If possible, can you review now, please? It will be very helpful. So yeah, I do a live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, where I answer people's job questions, and I record these. So if you ever wanted to join, twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter, that is where I do it. And if you stay there long enough, you can get a skip the line, because right now the line of resumes is over 200 long, and I only do about 30 a week. So this is not a garbage, delete it, everything resume, as I had thought, because it's not a 1 in 50. This is closer to 1 in 100. But there are things that we can do to change it. So formatting-wise, this is not great, but not the worst. Like C- formatting, and that it passes, but it could be a lot better. So what you want to do is use this. This is the right formatting. It's in the link tree below. That is free to do it. It's really easy. It looks boring and basic, but that's actually what you want in a resume, is you want it to look boring and basic. This is how you do it. So here. So I'm not going to mess around on formatting too much, because it's not the worst, but it could just be better. But a real problem here is you kind of buried what I'd be looking for further down. So if you noticed in here, you only had about 40%, and I did not find any of it except for data pipelines and cross-departmental, which even then I'm not even sure if that's really a qualification on this one here. So you actually go all the way down to the end point of the second sentence before I even see Python and SQL, which are pretty big qualifications. You also focused a lot on AI, which can be okay if that is the industry you're going in, which I think this would be okay. But the problem is, where's the big data? Where's the Scala? Where's the algorithms? Where's the ETL, ELT? Where's the Snow? Where's showing how to communicate data plans to non-technical people? And that's kind of my problem, is these are very bulky sentences, right? Like you kind of bury the lead. To use a metaphor, it would be like going to a hamburger place and saying, I want a plain hamburger because my stomach is upset. And they give you a cheeseburger with bacon and barbecue sauce. And because of that, you're like, well, this is not what I wanted. I just wanted a plain, boring burger. And that was your problem here, is you kind of focused on collaborating with research scientists when I really would like your first sentence to be what you did, which was architected a cloud-native data infrastructure in Python, SQL, and then probably one others, using, I don't think Airflow is needed, to process large volumes of healthcare data from hospital systems and medical equipment. So again, you buried the lead by putting it here, and I don't really care about Airflow necessarily. So I want those up front, and that should be the very first thing I read. And then here, again, if you're going specifically for AI, this is nice, but I still need some of the other stuff. And you said cloud native, but I did not see what cloud you used, right? Like, is it AWS? Is it Azure? Is it GCP? I don't know. You did not tell me. And those matter. So I need to know what kind of cloud you use. That is really, 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 really important. And then here, which is, besides data quality, nothing else I need. Don't really care about dashboards. That's more for data analytics, data scientist. I don't need dashboards. Design dimensional data. And there it is, Snowflake, all the way towards the bottom. So again, this is why you're getting some interviews, which is why it's not 150 to 1. But you are struggling, is because it's hard to read-ish. And you put everything sort of at the bottom that I want. I need this stuff. I don't actually know if I need CI/CD GitHub. That may be an industry-specific one. But I need, like, this stuff up here, and I need you to rewrite it, because what's important is this. And you should have 3 of these in each sentence. Right? Like, people think that recruiters are just keyword hunting, and if we were keyword hunting, well, it would be easy. I could just Control F. The problem is we're not actually keyword hunting, we're qualification hunting. And the qualifications for a data engineer are not being shown. And if you do not show those, you will get rejected. That is why you are having problems. Because a qualification is a keyword plus how you used it, plus where you used it, plus the reason and result of you using it. And you don't actually tell me, in this case, sometimes the reason and result, sometimes the what. But yeah, this is a big problem, which is you just don't show enough. So I want you to go back to the drawing board a little bit. I want you to fix the formatting, and I want you to fix the bullet points so it has 3 of these in each of them. And these are the stars. These are the stars. Like, I'm sure you personally think that reporting solutions using Power BI is important. It's not, unless you're going for a data analyst, but you're not. You're going for a data engineer. And again, different job titles require different things. What works for a data analyst won't work for a data engineer, won't work for a barista. If you use this to apply for a barista role, guess what? They're going to look at this, say, I don't know what this is, crumple it up and toss it in the garbage bin. So make sure these are your focus, all right? The reason people say keywords is they are the key to getting you a job, but you have to write them correctly, which shockingly this person actually did. So I want other people to take a notice. They did the how and the reason or result for most of these. There's a couple of errors, but for most of these, they did it right. They just need the what, and they need to put the what earlier in the sentence. But this is very close, and I don't think this is going to take you more than an hour to fix. And then once you do, you should have a lot more interviews. Much more than about a 1 to 75 to a 1 in 100, which is your actual ratio right now. So that's all I can do for this resume. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out. Share this video with your friends and family that need help. And I wanted to thank everyone who is a member on my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. That allows you to watch videos a little bit early. And let's go to the next resume. This is a data scientist. So what we need for a data scientist is degree, Python, R, SQL, data in all its forms. So again, this part is actually the same as a data engineer. We want data modeling, data analytics, the industry. Again, that part is the same. Explaining stuff to non-technical folks, that's the same. But here's where it differs. Influencing stakeholders. So before you just had to explain them. This one, as a data scientist, I want to see you influence people. I want to see that you can talk to people that are a C-suite and convince them to do X. I need to see that you worked cross-functionally. I need to see that you've done ML ops. I don't know, they just like that. I need to see that you've used Microsoft Office. Yes, I know. Or Google Sheets. That you have a little bit of AI. The problem is a lot of people fill it to the brim with AI. So Microsoft Office, AI, Spark, Skibbity Learn, Pandas, NumPy, that kind of stuff. And here is where we actually need dashboards. So can I find this in 20 seconds? Let's find out. Oh no. Built ETL, don't care about that. Using Python and Pandas, do care. To heterogeneous client data, okay, that's fine. Built an antelope pipeline, information on unstructured maritime incident reports. Okay, collaborated cross-functionally. Use study effects of versatile inserted data, neural network. Don't need that. PyTorch is okay. Okay, so, couple of problems. One, before I get into the big one, this is not the big one. I just don't have enough. I don't need ETL. I did see Python and SQL. Actually, no, I didn't see SQL. I just saw Python and Pandas and a little bit of, well, AI and cross-functionally and Excel. And if you notice, that's only about, well, you're the math person. That's only about like 30% of these. I need 75% to move you forward, so you don't have enough. The other problem, and this is probably the bigger issue, is you have a PhD in electrical engineering. Why? That is, I'm not like judging you personally, and you are in chat right now so you can answer, but like this will be an issue. This is the specific reason you actually want a summary, which is where it says moving to X from Y. So this is a case where I actually do need to know why you're going for a data scientist when you have an electrical engineering degree. Because that's going to be confusing. If anything, this is one of the kinds where you may want to put at the bottom of your resume. I also don't need to know when you started. That's irrelevant. I only need to know that you finished it. So those are the two big issues. This one probably the biggest, and there is an exact story of this happening. This is the entire reason of me telling people that the only time you really want a summary is if you're explaining a visa, if you're relocating, or you're changing industries, is because I had a candidate apply to a role, and they had a PhD, and I think it was wind turbine or something, and they were qualified, but I could not get the manager to see them because they're like, no, they applied to the wrong job. Why would somebody with an irrelevant PhD to what we're doing apply? They must have applied to the wrong job. Could not convince them, they got rejected. So this is why you need to actually state you're changing industries for this case in particular. Everybody else, you don't need a summary, but if you're changing industries like this is an important one. So I just don't have enough though, like beyond this, I just don't have enough. Like this is just not enough. This is like 30% of the qualifications. Yeah, there's no SQL. Like, there's no SQL. There's no real... Like, I see a little bit of data, but I need, like, data modeling and stuff, too. There's no stakeholders. There's no convincing people. There's no ML ops. There's no dashboards, which in this case I actually need. If anything, it really feels like the previous resume and this one got swapped, but they didn't. I actually am correct about that. So this person is in my chat. I'm going to help them out a little bit more, but for everybody else, we're going to the next resume. This is a Java developer. So this is a second review. This person said, I was on episode 303. Nothing much has changed. Well, considering this is like episode 307 and we fixed it during the time of no jobs, that does not shock me. Even really great resumes will get, well, nothing during December till the second week of January. So this is recorded on the 5th of January. So even if this is a perfect, fantastic resume, it won't matter until about the 12th. Because that's when the jobs actually start coming back. So that doesn't shock me, but let me see if there's anything in here that is incorrect. They said nothing much has changed. I'm still struggling to explain tech without being too technical. I can also apply for EU jobs. So, okay. So, let's see if this is better than the last, which I don't remember the last because I have the memory of a goldfish. So, 20 seconds to find Java, Spring, Spring Boot, SQL, RESTful API, microservices, OOP, Git, other APIs, Maven, Cloud, Architecting, SDLC, MongoDB, Hibernate, Docker, Kubernetes, and extra credit for all that stuff. And go. Okay, developed RESTful APIs in GraphQL, Java, Spring. This is too much. Built an auth system. I don't really care about that. Nor Spring security. Kafka, kind of. Develop microservices, good. Using Docker, Kubernetes is fine. Led Git and CI/CD practices is okay. Agile is nice. Let's see. Set up integrations, and that's it. So, couple of things here. Again, at least in the US, it won't matter how good your resume is until January 12th. It's not going to matter. You can have the best darn resume in the world, and it won't get anything until the 12th, because that's when people are actually back in the market. Second thing is, this is a little too crunched. So the thing is, you are a Java developer. I want to see Java first. Java should be the first. And this is too big, right? Like, you also put it with, you don't say RESTful APIs, you say RESTful, which guess what? If Java is different than JavaScript, which every single software engineer will tell you it is, and they are correct, then RESTful might be different than RESTful APIs. Second, I want to see Java first. And third, why do you have GraphQL? I don't think that's needed. Spring Cloud is not needed. Again, I'm saying Spring and Spring Boot. Right? Those are the two things. I also don't see the cloud you have, which is there. I don't see that. What cloud did you use? I don't know. You need to tell me. And I will say, for a back-end developer, you want cloud, any kind of cloud. But I need to know what kind of cloud. And maybe that's my fault because I should have explained that better up here. But I need to know, is it AWS? Is it GCP? Is it Azure? Is it... I don't think is there a fourth cloud? I heard once from somebody there is a fourth one, but I don't think anybody else knows that, or if it actually is real or not, or they were messing with me. But it needs to be at least AWS, GCP, or Azure. And I don't see it. Not Spring Cloud. This is nothing. PostgreSQL is fine. Microservices architecture is fine. This has nothing I need in it. This, I want to say, used Kafka and maybe some other stuff to develop an asynchronous event system to do messaging, right? Like you're still burying a little bit of what I want. Deploy to manage microservices using Docker Kubernetes is fine, and led Git and CI/CD practices, reducing merge conflicts. Again, I want a little bit more. I want 3 per sentence. This is fine. This one is fine. So yeah, part of the problem is the market is still shut down, at least in the US, and I'm going to make the assumption, since the EU does celebrate Christmas, that it's still probably close. That may be my US bias being incorrect, but I'm going to make an assumption that it's the same in the EU. And these are still like, you don't tell me enough, right? So I don't see, I just want to see Spring Boot and Spring. I found SQL. I need to see RESTful APIs. I need to see OOP. I would like to see Maven. I need to see Cloud. I do not see Cloud. Spring Cloud does not count. Has to be one of the big players. And then it should be better. Again. So again, this is not like terrible, no good, we'll get no interviews. It's just, this is maybe a 1 in 50, 1 in 75, and I want to move it down to like a 1 in 30, 1 in 20. So that's all I can do for this one. Let's go to the next resume. This is a project manager. So this person, I don't know the ratio. They wrote me quite a lot, but I will try to review this before I look at their note, just to make sure I'm as unbiased as possible. So for a project manager specifically, what we're looking for is how and why you did X. This is the big one. You can't just put in stuff like, I flooped a flop. I need to know how you did it and the reason or result. That is the most important thing. I need to know how you made things happen compared to how you individually did things. So you getting a stakeholder to get off their butt and do something is more important than you doing the thing itself. So I need to know how you made things happen. I would like to see a PMP or CSM. It's not a deal breaker if you don't have it, but it's a big plus. Customer service, customers or stakeholders, agile industry, the number of team members, was it matrix, cross-functional, number of projects, budgets, multitask, how did you use resources for success, how you solved problems and influenced people, and Jira, Confluence, MS, and Project. So project managers can have numbers. I have been very on the record of saying most resumes should not have numbers besides the dates of employment, and that is correct, but project managers are an exception to that. I do need some numbers. So, can I find that in 20 seconds? And go. Okay. Don't need that. Manage 4 support initiatives. What's a support initiative? The technical program of a tech sector startup aimed to help customers or software. It's not related. Liaison. Again, you're not telling me the purpose. SDK. What is... okay, you did tell me what SDK is. 8 IT projects with budgets from 2020 delivery project. Okay, so this would not pass, but let me read what you wrote. Most of it. So my position was eliminated, which, that stinks, in the EU. I will say this is for the US. Most of this is applicable in the EU, but there are some differences, and I just, I can't be in every country in every industry. So, but most of my advice does work in the EU. I've gotten people jobs there. And I did not have any suitable roles within that company, so I needed to leave. Since then, I tried to break into more technical, and I spent upskilling. Although I had 3 interviews, this turned out to be dead ends because my lack of CS degree, or maybe it's because of the economy. So want to go back to project manager, move to another country because of the career of my partner, which affected my job search. With this, I've now officially a gap of more than 2 years. Yeah, 2 years is not a good one. I mean, it really doesn't seem like 2 years. Well, I guess January 2024. Yeah. Let's see. In the last 9 months, I applied to 126 more jobs. That's actually not enough applications, both in the original country and the new country. 0 interviews. I used a different resume. Currently, I must focus on remote roles. It's going to be real tough to find a professional job until I learn language. Okay. Fortunately, it's not the best. My degree is technical but not relevant. Not sure if I should start the education section or move it after. I also need to include the career break. You don't need to include the career break. Let's see. My last role in this startup was kind of weird. I'm planning to earn a PMP cert, which could help, but I don't want to include until it's actually done. Yeah, if you're finishing it in like a month, that's fine. So here's the problem with gaps, right? The real problem with gaps is they're afraid your skills are not relevant. The problem I have with this resume is I still don't see the relevancy. So this is a tough one, especially if you're going for remote roles. But what you might want to have to do is go to a slightly lesser role, which I really hate. So instead of project manager, maybe like project coordinator to build it back up to get back up there. So let me take a thing to see what we can do, because the big thing is the gap, because it's more than 2 years. That is a problem. And the fact that you think your education is irrelevant, which it might be. So here's what we need to do. First off, remove the career break. Your reasons don't matter. Does not matter why. What matters is it happens. And it happened. So leave it. It's gonna suck. It's fine. We're gonna have to move past it. Don't put this. All it's doing is taking up space. Then we go down to here. So here is where we can actually fix stuff. So managed 4 support initiatives. What's a support initiative? Within a technical program of a tech sector aimed to help customers using our SDK. So here's the thing. Those are stuff that I don't think are relevant. Now, I said customers, but again, your job as a project manager is to manage the process. So I don't know what you did here. I think this is more of a, what's the title? There is a title of this. Hold on, let me see if I know. customer, what is it called? Customer, I don't know it off the top of my head. Not office manager, product customer. Here it is. This reads more like a customer success manager, which seems to be closer maybe to what you did, but I need to know more about the project management stuff. Like, this reads like a customer success manager. I need other stuff here. So here's how we can partly fix this is make this tailored to actual project manager, or maybe switch into customer success. That is possible. But like, I don't need to know that you manage 4 support initiatives. I need to know what was the budget of those 4 initiatives. What were the amount of people in those initiatives? What was the point of it, which you did say. But like, why is it important that they use their SDK? Why was it important to do that? Because really this reads like tech support or customer success manager, and acted as the primary liaison between customers, internal vendors, and other stakeholders. Again, I need to know how you did that. Not that you did it. I need to know how and what was the point, because this reads more like an IC, which project managers can be ICs or not. I need to see how you manage the process. So this may be a case of, to fix this, what we need to do, and I know I haven't gotten to the actual project management part next, is maybe transfer into customer success, or leave this short about what you did. And then we go down to here, which is 8 projects with budgets of 20 to 100K. Good. Software managed scope and budget. Led a functional team at regular vibes. You're still not telling me how, right? You're telling me what, but I need to know how. How did you lead? Like, I get servant leadership principles. That's good to have. But like, how did you do it? How did you talk with them? What did you do with them? I don't know. This is like not counting the gap. You're kind of not really telling me the details. You tell me the what, and then you either leave out the how or the reason or result, which is the problem. Because for a project manager, those are the most critical things. Manage project schedules, resources, and module risks, and prioritize a backlog of features. Why? Led multiple projects in parallel. Why? You don't tell me. How did you lead them? Led data migrations and introduced new SE like SharePoint and Windows. What was the point of this? This you tell me how, but you don't tell me why. So this is where we need to fix it. And you are going to have to, unfortunately, take a real hard look on if you can do customer success managers or not. And dig deep into bullet points, because this can be a problem. Or alternatively, what you do is you just apply to slightly lower than you would like jobs so that you could get those experience back up. So you're in chat, so I'm going to help you out after this, but everybody else, we're going to the next resume. This is a full stack software developer. So what we're looking for in a full stack software developer, degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node.js, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, SQL, API, RESTful API, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, .NET or Python or Java, and a bonus points for architecture, actual language, Git, and DevOps. I need to see JavaScript, HTML, CSS, TypeScript probably up front and first. Although sometimes I will say you can replace TypeScript with one of the other backend languages I've seen, but I don't know how you do that all in your coding stuff, but I have seen job descriptions say that. So 20 seconds. What is this person's ratio? Unknown. Let's find out and go. Scalable full stack using React, JavaScript, TypeScript, HTML, CSS, and Node.js. Okay, good. Develop Java, Spring Boot, microservice, read vehicle data, event numbers, parsing external APIs in MySQL database. Built RESTful APIs with Adobe, split PDFs, post endpoint. This is a little too much. Collaborate and Agile, applying object-oriented design product. Okay, this is not bad. I think this would pass. I think there are tweaks that you can do. I want to be clear, but this should pass. Let me read what you wrote. Just said, thanks for all the help so far. I think this is number 3 of their resume. So, yeah, a couple of tweaks. And I want to be clear to everybody viewing this that this would probably get interviews. This is, I'm going to be extra picky because, you know, this is their 3rd time, but this should work. This looks like it's a solid resume. I'm just trying to take it to the next level. So I don't want people to think I'm like, oh, it's a garbage. It's not. This will get interviews. I'm just trying to take it to the next step. So first off, React should be after CSS. I know that's insane, but it should. You really want to show it should go TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, React, and then Node.js. In fact, if anything, I would switch Node.js for SQL. Unless you don't have cloud. Actually, the big thing is I don't see cloud, which you may not have, but I would like some cloud. So I would replace Node.js with either SQL or cloud if you can. Then down here, pretty solid. But I would switch this sentence around to developed Java Spring Boot microservices in MySQL for our API to do X and Y, right? So just the order of the sentence. Then built RESTful APIs. Is it APIs or API? I don't know if that's a plural or not. Using Adobe's as split into PDFs. So, MongoDB could be nice, but I think you should split this into somewhere else. I don't think there's much here that I need. Since you already used API here, I do need RESTful APIs, but you did say the normal ones up here and MongoDB. So maybe move this around somewhere else. Collaborate in agile environment. Good. In fact, that actually could be replaced up top. In fact, use a built blah, 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 blah in a agile environment for X and Y. Object design patterns, cross-functionally, scalable solutions. This is okay. Again, I just think there needs to be more. And manage source code using Git, CI/CD with GitHub Actions. This should be higher up. This is more important. So, again, this is not bad. This is a solid resume. I just think the keywords that you use can be switched around somewhere else in the sentence. I am missing cloud if you have used it. And these are minor tweaks, which should help you go from, I think this is a 1 in 35 to a 1 in 40 to probably a 1 in 8, 1 in 9, give or take. Unless you don't have cloud, it's going to tank it a little bit, but this will get interviews. But making those changes will make it even better, take it to the next level. So that's all I can do for this one. If you ever need any more help, you can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlesshedhunter. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends and family. And, I wanted to thank all my members for, membering. Is it subscribing? Is it membering? I don't know what it's called, but thank you all for doing that. It does get you a little bit of early access to videos, but still, I wanted to say thank you very much, and I will see you all in the next video to help you get ahead of your job search. I don't know why I paused there. I don't know how to end videos. I'll figure that out one day. Later, y'all.